Start.
Good morning, sir. Today we are here to present our project that is a smart public transport application, which is basically a online cab booking system, which customer can easily book their cab either from their home or either from their offices in a very efficient and in a very better way. And now you can see that from the chart that first of all the customer just signed up from the web page from the web page application, and after that it select the destination and then pick up location, and all the details of the driver is sent to the customer. And after that the taxi driver will reach to the customer, and then the customer in the taxi reach to the particular destination, and after that the payment is done, and the payment is initiated to both parties, like driver and admin. And now you can see that the flow chart of this project. First of all, the user can register it, and after that, by registering, he can easily log in by selecting the pickup destination, pickup drop location, and after that, the payment is done either by cash or by the online payment. And then the amount is and then the amount is debited to both the admin and the driver, and all the finalization and the initialization of the process is done, and at the last all the things are completed. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Avinash Kumar Pandey, and I'm here with my team member to walk you through our proposed idea workflow. So, starting with the name of our project, that is Enigma. So, the core meaning of word Enigma is something that is unable to crack. But we have taken this name as our idea name because we are very much inspired by an Enigma machine, which is actually a cipher device developed in early 20th century, used to protect all kinds of diplomatic, commercial as well as electrical information. It was extensively used by Nazi Germany during World War II in order to encipher all kinds of their top secret messages. So since we have developed the same kind of model that will hide and retrieve the messages inside a medium, therefore we have given this name as our project. Starting with the proposed system, basically we have created a web-based interface by the help of HTML, CSS and JavaScript, where we are providing various functionalities such as data hiding, data retrieval, and email sending functionality through Gmail. So, starting with the first flow diagram of our project, that is of data hiding. So, since our whole architecture is classified on the basis of two roles, that is admin and user. So, user have privileges of performing all the functions which we are talking on, that is data retrieval and data hiding. So, starting with the flow diagram of data hiding, user have the option to select the original image, and he can select the text which he want to put inside that original image. Then once he click on the hide button, our system will calculate the histogram values by the help of histogram algorithm for the image, and it will histogram algorithm actually picks the highest pixels of our image that we have uh, for all the colors that we have in our image. So the highest pixel image value will then be encrypted by the message bits by the help of LSB algorithm, and at the end user will have the stego image. He can send it to another user by the help of Gmail functionality, or he can download it in his local system for later use. For data retrieval part, I want to spend some time.
Yes, for flow diagram of a data retrieval part, here user can select the original image as well as select the stago image, which is sent by an email. After that, it can calculate the histogram value, as Avinash said. The highest value which is selected by the histogram value, now it can be retrieved last two bit of that histogram value. In that last two bit, we just take that two bits and we just decrypt it and convert it into our message, and that message is our the original message which is displayed on our screen. Though these are the overall data retrieval part which the user go through with. Now the Subankit will tell you about the extraction process of the or structural process of the idea.
Thank you, Pushpin. Now the our extraction process is all about the stego image and the
original image. In this, you must have your original image as well as Stago image, which you get through your email. Now, when we will select these two images, then there will be a pixel processing which will be going on inside, and then reverse of the histogram process will be going on. So it will see the differences in the both the values of Stago and original images. Then the pixels are selected. Now the pixels which are selected are the ASCII value of the characters, where the 7 bits are collected and then one character is represented. So then by extracting these bits, our characters are formed, then our words are formed, and then we can see a text or a sentence are formed in our message. So then we can display our message, which is the secret messages, and the limit for our message is only 9,999 words. And here we have admin, where we store our database, and in this admin can log in itself on the local host server. Then he can create his profile, and where we have given access to edit and change the password, and then he can also add directly from the database member and edit the details of the member as well as delete the members, and then admin can log out from his server. And this is all about our idea of the Enigma project. Thank you, sir.
Good morning. My name is Pranveer. The title of our project is Gesture Control Implementation. So, we of making an application used for that uses computer vision for gesture computer vision for gesture recognition. It provides an immersive experience to the user to take control over the system using gestures. Computer vision is a field of artificial intelligence which learns hand gestures and
Gives output as the result as commanded.
further we have used media pipe
Algorithm for hand recognition, which uses 21 3D points of the hand to recognize the hand, and we can recognize the hand and give command to it corresponding to it. Now, Panshu would like to explain the data flow diagram.
our project starts with the use of camera which uses a camera for detection of images and videos to recognize hand gestures. Uh, the hand image is captured and then detected. The pre-processing is done using hand detection model from MediaPipe. Uh, then recognition is done using the machine learning algorithm. Further,
And then the media pipe has its own set of database where different hand gestures are already saved, and then the recognized hand is matched with the database, and then the execution is done as per the command is given to it. We use media pipe hands as a way to recognize 21 3D landmarks of the hand, which are given as follows. Each finger is recognized by 4 points, as you can see this, and the tip of the palm is recognized by another point that makes 21 points of the hand.
the hand gestures are used to control actions like volume up, volume down, play, pause, back, and forward.
एक मिनट
Good morning, sir. Our project team code is 22306, comprising of Sneha Chakravarti, Shreya Shrivastava, Tisha, and Shruti Vishkarma. So we have built a full-stack web application, Mindfulness, which assesses stress levels of working professionals. Stress is a mental state which actually brings tension, worry, and anxiety, and so much of headache and everything. So we have, in the COVID times, we have assessed that let's do something about the working professionals. So there will be two kinds of users, like user and admin, and further will be told by Shreya.
Okay, so now talking about the working. First, the user will start. If the user is not registered, he has to register by entering these 4 columns: name, email, designation, and the password. And as been told by Sneha, that we are only offering it to the working professionals for now. So that is why we have kept this designation field over here. And if the user is registered, he will go to the login page by entering the email and password. And the input of both of these will be going to our database. And from there, they will be offering a questionnaire page. Questionnaire will be consisting of few questions,
Accordingly, that we will be finding out the stress level, and the inputs of those questionnaire will be going to the model. Model will be categorizing the stress in low, medium, and high level, and the solution will be offered accordingly.
Now, the technologies which are introduced in this model are in the front end we have used HTML and the CSS and JavaScript, and in the back end we have used Python. All these and the all the data we have used the database which is stored, and for the login page and all the things which are used here, we have used this model, and we have trained the data, and then the questionnaire will be there, and it will be output to the user in the form of low, medium, and high.
Now coming to the future scope, like we have right now we have made it for the working professional, but we are thinking of making it available to like everybody, because right now we focused on working professional because we had such people in our environment, so we focused on that. But in the future we are thinking of organizing seminars so that we could get to know the people in a better way. So like what are the reasons, what are the other reasons for the stress? Because right now we have implemented 6 to 7 questions, but we are thinking of like extending it and just making it more, making it available to more and more people. Because we really want people not to just run away from the stress or whatever problem they are facing. We really want them to face it, deal with it, and just live a happy life. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. My name is Saxena. My name is Mr. Shukla. And our group ID is 22D06, and we have come up with a project Professional Development. Professional Development is a social media website for the coders. It would help coders to discover various technologies. They could discuss their doubts on it, and also can ask their seniors for help in their questions. So we would explain the workflow of our project. So
Here,
please.
here is the user ID which contains name, mobile number, email, and password, and users are connected like a post. Post contains likes, user ID, post title, description, comments, and post can have the flow like the there is a likes which contains the user ID, post ID, and like data, and it also have comments which has a user ID and comments.
Okay, so now I will take you through the authentication part of our project. So here we have a user data which would be saved in the database, and it would be used for the sign in and sign out for the user. Then this data can also be stored for the post data. Here the post can be written, then they would be saved in the database. Then it would be reflected back in our website through post writing. Then talking about same as the likes, it would be gone through the database. Then it would be reflected back in our website, and for the comments also it's the same. The user would be connected to each likes and comment for the post, and
And there is a authentication of every account.
account for every account. Yes, and we so and our project also includes a chat app which we can create a room, and specific people can come together and discuss their ideas in the chat. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Raj. My name is Ashish. Today our project ID is 22E14 and 2E14, and our project is secure online auction system. In this project, we see that people who are people don't have time to travel to get to the application. Today, this project represents online auction system where people the scope for this project is for the people who don't have time to go to the location for attending the auction. This project represents that any people can attend auctions from any place, from any time. Coming to our project process, here is a basically system process. There are three data input stages, which includes admin state, and this is owner of the article, and there is a registration for bidders. And coming to output stage, there is a database storage and UI screen system, and finally there is a report. And in this process, there is basically admin control all the function over and inside this system, there is basically the information which is included is home categories, items, bidding, items, and logout, and then finally logout. So there are three levels of data flow chart. So this is admin role, and this is level one data flow diagram. Here the admin controls the login access and the channel information. Where a user logins, this page will go went into UI display where the items will be shown in their display on their screens, and this will represent as categories, information for every item stored, and bidding information. For level two, the user screens will the user interface will show the more options for category, and it will lead to database. This is the level 2 data flow diagram, and for the level 3 view categories will take to the database, and it will show the users to the UI interface. This is the level 3 for data flow diagram for admin. Thank you.
Project name is Retrieval and project name is Polaris. And today I'll be talking about this Polaris, which is basically a role play. Which is basically a role play game, which is based on skills and magical abilities that is basically possessed by specific characters. And we have divided this game in two basic characters. Now, talking about how this game basically works, it basically has two instances, which will be the Unreal editor, and the other will be the standalone mode. Now talking about this Unreal Engine in this mode, the start engine will basically initialize the Unreal Engine, which is help us to start the Unreal Engine, and over there we can play the game in our editor mode. Well, coming to the editor mode, we can play in our game in the Unreal game instance. Over where we can initialize the Unreal game engine, where we can spawn all the objects that we have defined in a game, and all the simple AI based elements that we have pre-initialized in our game modules. Now coming to this, after this it will create an Unreal online session which will basically connect to the servers, so that all the functioning will be done properly over there. And now after that it will create an editor in the game instance, where we can start all our game instance of what we have basically loaded in our game. Now coming to the second mode, which is the Unreal standalone mode, which this whole functionality depends on how our game will be working outside of the editor mode. It is basically when we used to work with the application or in an offline mode, where we can initialize the game, and now creating it will help us in creating an Unreal game instance which will work in an offline instance. It will help us to initialize the standalone mode. After that, it will initialize the Unreal game session from where we can start our game. Now coming to the gameplay mode, first it will help us to begin play option, so that where we can start our game, and after that it will start this basically for use for spawning all the objects, all the enemies, and our characters position in the game. And start match will help us in currently restoring the previous session of the amount of where we have saved our data. And last but not the least comes the game spawn actors and the begin game instance, so where you can resume a previous session. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ayush. Our group ID is 22308, and we have made a topic stock price. This is a custom stock alert price tracker. This is a custom stock alert price tracker, and so like if we talk about the brief of this project, let me begin that one of the hardest thing in the market is to track the price of the stock, right? One of the when any individual comes to the market, it becomes very difficult for him to track the prices. Now, for eliminating this issue, we have created Stockwise. It is one stop solution for tracking the stock prices and managing the portfolio. The user can seamlessly manage the portfolio and track the prices of the stock and get a custom push notification according to their needs. The user only gets to sign up to the portal, enter the phone numbers, and just get the name of the stock which they want to track. Once they select the stock which they want to track, they can simply click on the alert icon, and a push notification will be triggered when the alert parameters will be matched. Now, if we look at the flow diagram of this, so we see that the user logins via OTP provided by a provider. So Once the user enters his number, gets an OTP, he lands up to his dashboard, which is the main landing page. Then after that, we use a fetch API, and we are actually fetching few parameters on the dashboard, which includes active stocks, gainers, top losers. So these are the top 30 gainers loser that we are presenting over here. Now, once the user starts to starts to set the alerts, he can directly set the alert via alert tab, and after this, for setting the alert, the user lands up to its portal, search for the stock, and then gets the stock information. After this, he chooses the stock alert, that if you want to set the alert based on some parameters. Once the user chooses the parameters, the alert will be stored onto the client storage only on the browser side. We will be continuously polling to the browser side to get the push notification, and once the price matches, a notification will be triggered onto the devices. So this is the brief diagram of product stock price. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Retrieval and my name is Pranveer. We are our project idea is Untitled and we are using a project on detecting e-banking phishing websites. In today's time, generally, many of the people log in on the online platforms, and there are many chances to leak the data from the phishing websites. So when you post the system that will detect that the website is phishing or not, it is a web application. And now we are, this is a data flow diagram of user first. Like a user will first register to the to our portal e-banking phishing, then it will be stored in database and level one. Then user will when login it, then it will use the requirement, and when the data is relevant, then the it will fetch database and it will open for user. In here, in this diagram, user will process any query that is accessible by the user uh, after logging. Then it will check that it is a relevant query for the user. If it is relevant, then the query will be processed and it will give the result to the user. uh, this this is this project is proposed because to prevent the login credentials of the user, so that uh, they cannot be scammed by the people for the login and passwords on online transactions. Thank you.
My name is Uttar. This is a project ID Retrieval and based on the home automation of maintaining home appliances and based on the implemented on IoT. In this project, we are using Verify to control our appliances through Telegram app. So first of all, we start Telegram app. Telegram, we just send a message to on the appliance, and then the message goes to Raspberry Pi, and Raspberry Pi process the data and wait for the command. Verify that if the command is processed, then it verify to the internet. Through internet, it goes through the other delay. Through delay, it connect, it check verify is that the Raspberry program whether Python program is called or not. If yes, we go through the input assignments, and if no, then it will be the same process. After that, program will ask. So first, then command goes to the GPRU pin. To GPRU pin, it verify. To GPRU pin, there are other sensors are there through which the home appliances are connected. So if appliances go through a delay message, then if the input is high, that means our appliances are on. If the input is low, that means the appliances are off. At the end, it's switching on.
Thank you.